So yoga is an opportunity to notice what works for you and opt out without judgment, make choices that feel good, and use your practice for you, remembering it's a practice. And as we begin this morning, remembering that we're here really to help ourselves feel better and to move and shift energy and start the day or enjoy the middle of the day, depending on where you are. And I know we have a few people in Europe, so the end of the day in a way that feels grounded and centered and beautiful for you. So using the practice in that way this morning. And so my offering this morning is about no mud, no lotus. And while that might seem discouraging, meaning that, the mud is there, and the mud might be anger or sadness or frustration or whatever mud you might be in the midst of, lack of sleep, I've heard from a few people, and that we often look at the mud and say, well, I have to deal with the mud to get the lotus. And my thought is that the mud is also purposeful. And it came up this week that anger is even useful. And so I thought I would pursue that theme a little bit more today, noticing that last week's class was on disappointment and frustration. And interestingly, lots of people took that class between last week and this week. So I'm sensing that there is frustration and disappointment and anger and sadness out there. And we can use yoga to help ourselves feel better. So why not? So with that, find your sit bones and connect them down into the earth, noticing the stability and the groundedness and how good it feels to sit down on something with intention and making sure that where you sit feels good. And connect your ischial spines downward and tilt your pelvis forward with intention. Stick your chest out and stack your spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up through your neck to the crown of your head. And taking in a huge cleansing inhale through your nose. Then exhale through your mouth, drop your shoulders. Notice even with one breath that things shift and move. And another huge breath in through your nose. And an exhale through your mouth, let it out. And I invite you to flip your palms over on your lap, if that feels good to you, in a just receptive, accepting it all position. Not that we need to change anything, but just to let whatever that mud in your life is be, whether it feels like anger or disappointment or sadness. Even the excitement or enthusiasm can sometimes also turn into mud when it doesn't turn out the way you think or your expectations of how it might be. And so hands wide open approach, palms up, is just to let things be as they are, knowing that the mud has a purpose. And even the sleepless nights likely have a purpose. And the frustration has a purpose. And the anger has a purpose. It's useful in some way. So we often want to get rid of it. But this practice will just be to let it be, move it around, perhaps shine a flashlight as to why it might have a purpose. And then you can just look at it from afar without letting it take over. And so take an inhale right into that heart space with your hands wide open, letting all of those emotions that you have right now just be there as they are. And exhale long and slow. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. Notice perhaps the tingles, the energy. Emotions are vibrations and energy, and letting them tingle and just circulate around and poke around. And perhaps open your mind to what is the purpose of some of that ick that you feel. Sometimes even noticing that it has a purpose softens its impact, takes away its power. And bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Check in with yourself. Notice if there is an emotion that you are wishing would go away, whatever it might be. Or perhaps a judgment of something that should be different. Shouldn't have happened the way it did. And sending yourself compassion for those thoughts that, of course, we wish it would be different and that it doesn't have to be. That we can be amazing just as we are in all our imperfections and messiness, with all the anger and frustration and unmet expectations. To embrace the mess and embrace the mud. As the lotus doesn't grow in spite of the mud, it grows because of the mud. So bring your hands to heart center, press your finger pads together, rub your palms together, create a little heat and energy. Bring your thumbs to your sternum, connecting to that energy to your heart space, sending yourself some good energy, some fun energy, some movement energy, some embracing energy, just as a little challenge and an interest. And set an intention for your practice today. Is there something you want to embrace, nudge loose, let go, shift, move, accept? What is your highest vibrational energy? How can you embrace the mud and grow a beautiful lotus flower in this next hour together? And lower your hands to your thighs and open your eyes and let the light in and just notice how you feel. Scrunch your shoulders all the way up to your ears with intention. High, 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 high. And lower them down. Notice how good it feels to lower them down. Once again, scrunch them as high up to your ears as you can. Tense your fingers on your thighs. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. The occiput reaches into those shoulders. And exhale, let it go. Draw your scapula together. Bring your shoulders down and back. Chest comes out. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Tight, tight, tight. And let it go. One more time, pinch your scapula together, draw your shoulders towards the back wall, down a bit. Elbows can come together a little behind you, fingers, tips tent on your thighs, tight, 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 and let it go. Notice the warmth and heat and shift. Sometimes when we draw into the tightness, we get this extra release that feels amazing. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up towards the sky. Take a moment here to connect your sit bones downward with intention to set yourself up well. Stretch your side body long, long, long. Reach your palms up towards the sky. Do a little shimmy. Arch your back slightly. Inhale. Exhale, round forward into cat pose. Head and neck reach forward. Enjoy all the sensations here. Inhale, come up back to cow pose. Slight arch back. Reach the palms as high as you can. Use this movement and the edges of the movement to shift and move the mud. Exhale, round into cat pose. Draw your head towards the front. Crown of the head reaches forward, palms reach forward, belly sucks back, and the whole back rounds as much as you can. Using your sacrum and your sit bones for stability. Inhale, reach up, slight arch back. Reach tall, tall, tall. Last round forward on the exhale, blowing things out. Inhale, reach towards the sky. Exhale, bring your arms out towards the side. Press your palms into the side walls and pinch your scapula once again. Notice all those juicy sensations. Dive right into them and exhale, release. Once again, squeeze tight into every tight spot, sending it compassion, but squeezing it hard. Release and notice how it feels. Squeeze your fists tight, 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 arms fully engaged. Stretch your fingers wide. Squeeze your palms together, fists. Stretch your fingers wide like starbursts. 2 more, tight fists, starburst out. Just moving and shifting the energy, tight fists and a starburst. Lower your hands by your sides and roll your shoulders 3 times, lubricating everything, bathing yourself with kindness.
Excuse us, Jesse, but we can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now? Okay, we'll do that. I don't know what happened. Thank you for telling me. So we'll come back. Hopefully you saw me, but let's come back to a seat. Take your left hand, plant it onto the earth, reach your right arm over your right ear, right hip grounds downward, right finger stretch towards the left, bend the left elbow. Inhale deeply. Exhale, reach over the right shoulder, gaze over the right shoulder, and blow whatever you feel like out. Another deep inhale into your chest, all the way down into your belly. And exhale, gaze to the right. One more breath here. Stretch the whole right waist. Exhale, let it go. Press into the left hand, reach both hands up towards the sky. Once again, interlace them, flip your palms towards the sky, stretch tall, tall, tall. Shimmy both side bodies, reach tall. Exhale, round forward into cat once again. Crown of the head reaches forward. Release the whole back body here, moving and stretching. Inhale, shift upward, look upward this time. Gaze up if it's okay for your neck. With palms reaching towards the sky, drop your chin to your chest. Just notice the different sensations. Bring your chin back to neutral. Open your arms out to the sides, reclasp them at your sacrum. Press your fists downward, elbows straight, shoulders down and back. Release the neck. Chin comes to the chest for a moment. Notice all the sensations here. Breathe into them with intention. Noticing that tightness has been there to help you and protect you, but perhaps soften it and let it go on the out breath. Bring your chin back to neutral. Release your hands and just shake them out. And we'll take out whatever we are sitting upon. Come to hands and knees directly today. We're going to do a little more moving. Moving shifts things. Can let things be, but can also shift them. So take a moment here to find a good spot. Hands will be directly under your shoulders, knees will be directly under your hips, and tops of your feet on the floor. Belly is engaged. Back is flat, as if you could balance a tray on it. Take a moment here to get everything just right, so it feels right. There isn't a right or a wrong, but what feels good to you. And notice how you feel. Inhale, stick your sit bones up, crown of the head reaches towards the sky, coming into cow pose. Exhale, round into cat, drop your head, towards the floor. Reach your spine all the way up towards the sky. Inhale for cow. Do a couple on your own here, massaging your spine, massaging your belly. Just moving, shifting, noticing. Sometimes moving those stubborn emotions, the ones that don't feel good, just moving them softens them. Again, nothing needs to change to feel better. Nothing needs to go away. You can just choose to feel better and bathe yourself with kindness and movement and breath. We'll meet back in tabletop when you're ready. Drop down to your elbows. We're going to come into puppy pose. Walk your fingertips forward, lower your forehead towards the earth, and stick your sit bones up towards the sky. You're still on your knees. You'll notice a release in the back of the shoulders. Breathe into it here. Exhale, let it go with intention. Another huge inhale. And exhale, let it go. One more breath here, sending it into any remaining pockets of tightness that you notice as you're here. Sometimes when you sit with the tightness, more things pop up, and you can just breathe into them, embrace them as mud, knowing that mud leads to lotus in some fashion. It has lots of nutrients, the mud. When you're ready, come back up to your hands and knees. Organize yourself for a moment. Inhale, raise your right arm up towards the sky. Look towards the right hand. Exhale, thread it through the left hand and left knee. Will come in to thread the needle on this side. Right ear and back of the right shoulder grace the floor. Stretch your left hand long, long, long. Coming in to thread the needle. And breathe into every nook and cranny of tightness here. Exhale, let it go. Breathe into it. Exhale, let it go. One more breath. Walk your left hand back by your face, plant it to the earth, the palm, press into it, untangle, reach tall, giving yourself the gift of that stretch. Roll the right wrist out towards the sky and lower it back down to the earth. Even yourself out once again. Engage your belly, reach your left hand towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle on the left side. Back of the left shoulder comes to the earth, left ear comes to the earth, and stretch your right hand long, 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 long. Long as you can. And notice all the pockets here of tightness. Perhaps there's even a little angst in those pockets or a little anger. Just letting it be seen. Unmet expectations, things that should be different. Colleagues that should be back from vacation, nights that should have slept well, just sending the breath into all of those things. Knowing that even in that discomfort, goodness comes out of that somehow. You don't have to make it Pollyanna, but just let it be. Bring your hand by your face, once again, plant into the earth and untangle. Reach tall, 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 wiggle those fingers, roll your wrist. And come back to tabletop. Walk your hands forward to handprint, curl your toes, and lift up to downward dog. Let the downward dog be delicious. Walk the dog, stretch out the backs of your legs, perhaps pump your knees. Notice what feels good to you. Perhaps press into both hands, straighten your arms, and reach your sit bones all the way to the sky, head and neck lower towards the floor. Huge inhale here. And an exhale, let it go. One more huge lion's breath here. Breathe in. And a huge exhale, letting your tongue stick out if you wish. Notice what feels good to you. Walk your hands back towards your toes, coming into a forward fold. Widen your feet a little bit
And grasp your elbows. Allow your head and neck to sink completely. The whole back body will release, back of the legs will release, head can come towards the floor. Lift up all 10 toes and spread them wide, wide, wide like monkey toes. Shift your weight gently into your toes and into your heels, into your toes and into your heels. Release your elbows and reclasp your hands at your sacrum. Once again, press your fists towards the back, straighten your elbows, and allow your hands to fall over your head and neck all the way towards the front of the mat. Notice the release in the front of the shoulders and enjoy it. Huge inhale. And exhale, release. See if your fingers and palms can come a little farther towards the front. Breathe into all the tightness here. Bend your left knee straight your right, twist towards the right. Bend your right knee straight the left, twist towards the left. Come back to center and allow your hands to fall a little farther forward. Noticing the discomfort and the release all happening at the same time. Bring your hands back to your sacrum, lower it down your legs towards the earth. Engage your belly and roll up. Inch by inch by inch, slowly unroll your vertebrae with kindness. Your head will be the last to rise. And give yourself a moment when you arrive to let the sand come down the hourglass, noticing all the sensations, all the movement, things moving through. Just being unstuck, but still being there. Nothing having to go away, be fixed or changed. Wiggle your fingers. Lift up your toes, wiggle them, lower them down. Raise your kneecaps a smidge, engage your thighs, tuck your belly, engage your belly, and stack your spine all the way up through your spine, through the crown of your head. Take an inhale, reach the crown of your head tall, and drop your shoulders, palms open towards the front. Tadasana or mountain pose. A very engaged mountain pose. Standing tall in the face of all the things right now, whatever they might be. All the things that are ahead, all the things that are behind, all the feelings that are within, all the things you think should be different, whatever emotions you have that maybe you wish you didn't have. Maybe you wish you had let them go. Instead of needing them to go, just letting them be there. All nutrients of the mud to grow beautiful lotus flowers in our lives. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Spine is straight. Crown of the head reaches forward, butt sticks out, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a half lift once again. Spine is straight, back is flat, legs are straight, butt sticks out. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands forward to plank pose and pause at the top of the push-up. And notice if you want your feet closer together or wider apart. What works for your body? Neither is better. Back is flat is what is better, so take good care of your belly and your back. Spread your fingers wide to protect your wrists. Drop your heels to the right, to the left, pardon me. Weight comes into the left hand. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Come into a side plank in whatever way works for you. If you need to drop that left knee towards the earth for stability, do that. Do what works. If this hurts your wrists, you can come to a fist as well on the left fist. One more breath in side plank here. On the exhale, raise, lower your right arm over your right ear, stretch long, 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 the whole right side body. Graceful and shaking all at the same time. Reach your arm up towards the sky. Come back to plank pose in the middle. And take a minute to get organized. Spread your fingers wide again to protect your wrists. Rock forward on your tiptoes, back on your tiptoes. Find your center. Drop your heels to the right. Weight comes into your right arm. Reach your left arm towards the sky. Bend the right knee if need be as a kickstand. Do what works for you. Inhale. Exhale, reach the left arm over the left ear with grace, stretching long, lots of potential shaking, wobbling, graceful and wobbling all at the same time. Notice for a moment here all the sensations moving around, tightness, pockets, doing their work. Reach your left hand towards the sky. Come back to plank pose. Press back to downward dog to release. Readjust your hands here if your wrists are bothering you. Walk your heels, move your hips, release any tightness. Shift back to plank pose, forward. Shift your weight into your tiptoes and lower down chaturanga to the floor. Draw your elbows in towards you, bend them and lower down. Third eye comes to the earth. Weight is out of your hands. Inhale for a low cobra. Your heart shines forward, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, press back up to downward dog and enjoy. Once again, have a little fun here in downward dog. We don't have to hold it and be serious. Play with it. Notice what works and feels good when you move. Lift up onto all 10 tiptoes, heels high, high, high. Exhale, lower your heels towards the earth. Release the back body, the back legs. Notice that energy shifting. And use it for you to shift whatever feels like it might want to move somewhere else. Just get it unstuck. Let it be seen. Inhale, raise your left leg towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knee and open up the hip. Roll the ankle in one direction or the other. And I am doing the opposite side first for fun. So notice if your brain notices that. Re-square your hips. Extend your leg towards the back. Heel presses to the back wall. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands. Come into a high lunge and raise both arms up towards the sky. Take a moment to get organized when you arrive here. Let the blood flow shift kindly, like an hourglass. Inhale, reach your hands towards the sky. Exhale, sink down. Bend the front knee. Make sure your front knee is not extending beyond your ankle. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink into it. Bring your hands to heart center. Straight your front knee. And bend your front knee. Straight your front knee. And bend your front knee. Inhale to straight. Exhale to bend. We'll do 2 more here. Inhale to straight that front knee. Back heels off the earth. Exhale, bend. Last one. Come back to your high lunge, hands at heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum. You're going to press off your back heel, bringing your right foot forward, your right knee forward up to 90 degrees to a balanced pose in front. And just notice the wiggles and the wobbles with grace and elegance. And lower that back foot down into a high lunge once again. And if you tip, all good. Once again, press off the back foot, raise the knee in front up to 90 degrees and pause and balance for a breath here. Lower the back toes down, back to a high lunge. Last one, press off the back foot, bring your front knee to 90 degrees, right knee is at 90 degrees, wiggle your toes as you arrive, and come back to a high lunge. Lower your hands by your sides. Turn your right heel towards the back edge of your mat, towards the left. We're gonna come into warrior two from here. Cartwheel your arms out open. So your back heel's now gonna be pigeon-toed, if that makes sense. Fingers reach in either direction. Inhale, fill your chest, reach the crown of your head tall. Exhale, sink into that warrior two. Notice if your back arm has dropped down the right leg and even your arms out. Gazes with intention over that left middle finger. Notice here any remaining emotions, tension in your chest, perhaps. Breathe into it. Exhale, sink in a little farther. Bend your left elbow. Lightly put your left hand onto the left upper thigh. Reach your right arm overhead. Come into a side angle pose here. Stretch the whole right side body. Exhale, release. Another huge inhale, stretch long. Exhale, cartwheel back up to warrior two. Drop your right hand down the right thigh. Come into peaceful warrior. Left fingers reach towards the crease between the ceiling and the back wall behind you, or towards the sky if you're outside. Breathe into the fanning open of the whole front ribs, shedding light on whatever emotions might be trapped in there. Send the breath there. On the exhale, slide your right fingers gently, another smidge down the right leg. Enjoy the fanning open. Cartwheel back to warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your toes to the side edge of the mat. And we'll turn to face the back of the mat, coming into warrior two, feet on this side. Once again, cartwheel your arms open, bend the front knee. Notice if you have to readjust your feet to be comfortable, your heels should be in heel to heel alignment. Your right knee should not extend beyond the right ankle when you sink in. Inhale. Exhale, sink into warrior two. Perhaps wiggle those right toes a little further forward. Check on your arms. Are they at shoulder height, or is one dumping down as it may be a habit? Breathe into it. Exhale, sink in a little farther. Gazes over the right middle finger with intention. Balancing all the emotions and tension and different muscle strengths to make this all work. Bend your right elbow, gently place your right forearm on the right thigh lightly. Reach your left arm over, coming into side angle pose on this side. Whole left side body stretches, 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 stretches. Breathe into it. Perhaps envision things shooting out those left fingers towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe into it. Exhale, release. Once again, drawing your attention to any pockets of tightness or staleness that need some shifting. Use the breath. Let them be seen, whatever's hidden in there. Not changed, just noticed. Cartwheel your arms back up to warrior two. Drop your left hand down your left thigh. Reach your right arm over with grace. Come into a humble warrior. Right ribs fan open. Enjoy it. Once again, noticing pockets. Pockets of old energy, emotion, frustrations, unmet expectations. When we let them be seen and just allow them to be, they're just the mud that's necessary, part of life that doesn't need to be fixed. Most of us type A types are fixers, so we want to go in and fix all the things and make all the bad emotions go away. And instead, just let them be seen and be there and be part of the nutrients. Come back to warrior two. Raise both arms up towards the sky and turn towards the back of the mat. We're going to come into a high lunge here. Reach your arms towards the sky. Find your balance. You may need to widen your stance a little bit to get your balance here. Inhale, reach your fingers tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in. Once again, reach those fingers tall. And exhale, sink in. Notice. Bring your hands to heart center. Thumbs together. Straight your front knee. And bend it. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. Notice your toes gripping here, working hard as you straighten your front knee and bend. Send them compassion. Once again, straighten that front knee and bend. And pause for a minute, getting your balance. Organize those right front toes for your balance as you shift your weight off the back foot. Raise the left knee up to hip height, 90 degrees in front, and pause. Wiggle those left toes. Bring your leg back. Come back to a high lunge. Notice any wobbles here with compassion. Pause. Press off the back foot. Bring the left knee up to hip height and pause. Inhale and exhale in the balanced position. Bring your back toes back, come back to the high lunge. Last one, press off the back foot, raise the left knee to hip height and pause. Doing this with calm, relaxing in even as you tip, allowing whatever to be as it is. We'll come back to a high lunge here. Lower your hands by your sides. We'll straighten that front knee. Turn our toes once again towards the side of the mat. Legs are in a wide angle pose. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows back towards the back of the mat, chest puffs forward. Hinge at the waist and fold forward. Lower your hands towards the mat or the floor or a block, whatever works for you. Keep your back flat and head somewhat elevated. Don't drop your head quite yet. Give yourself a chance to adjust. And some of you may not want to drop your head at all. If you have high blood pressure, you can stay up like this on your fists. Some of you will wish to walk your hands far in front and enjoy the back stretch and the back of the leg stretch here. You can try that, see how it feels. Outer edges of both feet are grounded into the earth, taking good care of your legs. Walk your hands back under your shoulders, and if you wish, walk your hands behind you, between your legs and behind you, and allow your head and neck to fall if that feels good to you. Notice all the sensations in the back of the legs, things waking up here. Bring your hands back to center, directly under your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Left hand is going to come directly under your face. Right hand reaches up towards the sky, coming into a triangle, revolved triangle here. Just notice the sensations as they shift here. Lower the right hand, replace the left. Reach your left hand towards the sky, look up towards the left hand. Bring your left hand back towards the floor, both hands on the floor. Walk your hands towards the left foot, bend the left knee, and sink down all the way towards the left. Your right toes will lift up towards you, right leg is straight. You'll have a delightful stretch in the right leg, right inner thigh. Point your toe and flex your toe. Straight that left leg, walk your hands back to center and walk them over towards the right side. Right knee bends fully, right heel lifts off the earth, left toes lift off the earth. Take a moment and look up here. Whole left leg is straight, lots of sensations. Point your toe and flex your toe. And point your toe and flex your toe. Walk your hands back to center. Come back to the wide angle pose and do what feels good here for a moment. Walk your hands forward, back to center, behind you, whatever position your body really craves. Give yourself a moment in that one. You may even want to bend your knees. Notice if that feels good. When you're ready, bring your hands back to the middle. Turn your heels in towards one another into a second position and slowly roll up your vertebrae. Rolling, rolling, rolling up to stand with your knees wide, feet in second position. When you arrive, bend your knees, coming into the goddess squat. Once again, sink your hips down and low. Your hands can be on your hips if that feels good. Raise your right heel up and lower it down. And raise your left heel up and lower it down. Raise both heels up. Notice the wiggles and the wobbles. Lots of wiggles and wobbles invited today. Creating our own mud to shift things around. And notice how the mud helps. Lower your heels. Raise your arms up to a cactus. Drop your elbows towards your waist, down and back. Reach them back up to cactus pose. Lower them down by your waist. Once again, reach them up to cactus pose. Bring them towards you in the front. Right elbow under the left. We're going to come into eagle arms here. Bring your palms together or thumbs together or not together if that doesn't work for you. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, elbows to shoulder height. You might notice your legs calling you. One more inhale, right into the scapula. Exhale, allow yourself to round forward, fold forward with your legs in the squat. Release the upper back. Huge inhale. Exhale, bring your elbows back to shoulder height, untangle. Lower your arms to your hips, straighten your knees. And you can heel toe your feet back to center, shaking it out. Rolling your shoulders back 3 times. Rolling one ankle and then the other. And we'll come back to Tadasana or mountain pose. Take a moment to arrive there. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Engage your kneecaps, your thighs, tuck your pelvis under and align your spine, giving yourself the gift of alignment. Noticing that when we are aligned, everything else works better. Stack your neck all the way through the crown of your head, palms open towards the front. Receptive and allowing whatever is. Huge inhale. And an exhale. We'll come into tree pose. Trees are stable despite whatever else is going on. Ground into your left foot. Lift up all 5 toes and lower them down. Kickstand that right foot. Heel comes to the shin or the calf. If you wish, you can raise the sole of your foot to the calf. Stay there for right now. Bring your hands to heart center. Use the palms together and the thumbs together and the thumbs into the sternum for balance. Find a spot on the floor that works for you. Engage that right glute and tuck your knee back gently. And pause here in this tree pose. Noticing the strength of that standing leg. If you wish, raise your arms up, wiggle your tree branches, leaves blowing in the breeze. Noticing here too that nothing has to change and we can still have fun and feel good. Trees don't change the world around them, they just stand there tall and enjoy what is. Bring your hands back to heart center. Draw your knees to the front and lower them down, shake it out. Roll your ankles out. Treat yourself with kindness, especially if you didn't sleep well or you're achy or your week was just not like you thought. Raise your right toes and lower them down. Grow your roots downward. We're not going to be redwood trees today. We're trees that actually go deep down into the earth to get the water and the nutrients that they need. Left heel comes to the calf or the shin. You can raise the sole of the foot. Make sure the sole of the foot is not over your knee. Hands once again at heart center. Tuck that left knee back. Engage the left glute. And stand tall. As a tree that's not phased. Couple of deep cleansing breaths here. Not moving too fast to raise your branches. Take your time. And when you're ready, reach your branches up towards the sky. Wiggle your fingers in the breeze. Enjoying it. Bring your hands back to heart center.
Draw your knee back to the front and lower it down, shaking it out. Roll your shoulders back 3 times and forward 3 times. Arrive back in Tadasana. Take a moment to get your feet set beautifully, raising all 10 toes, spread them wide, using them to help you reconnect them into the earth. Rise up onto your tiptoes. You may notice a little wobbling here. Bring your hands to heart center once again. Palms together, thumbs pressed into the sternum while you're up on your tippy toes as high as you can. We will slowly bend our knees and lower down with the wiggles and the wobbles and go right through the muddy spots. Sink your hips back, down and low, slowly lower down, inch by inch by inch by inch. Have fun with it. Notice what your body is learning and garnering along the way as you arrive at the bottom. Give yourself the gift of a pause. Take a huge inhale and an exhale. Engage your belly. Palms pressed together, thumbs pressed into the sternum, and slowly, with your heels still in the air, raise yourself up inch by inch by inch by inch. What's in your control is how you do this and how you rise all the way to the top. Lower your heels down and shake it out. Roll your shoulders, and we'll come to meet on the mat with our legs spread long in front. Take a moment and move the flesh of your seat out of the way when you arrive. Knees will be bent gently. And notice if you want your feet a little bit wide, hips width, or heels closer together. See what feels right for you today. Engage your pelvis, tilt it forward, and stack your spine. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward gently. Release the head and neck. And allow yourself to relax in. Notice how it feels. Huge inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Slowly walk your hands up your shins, to your knees, to your thighs. Spread your legs wide into a wide angle pose. And take a moment here to find your ischial spines, connect them downward, setting yourself up well. Knees will press down towards the earth. If you can't straighten your knees, bring them a little farther, closer together. Ankles are flexed, toes are stretched wide. Spread them wide, wide, wide. Use their energy and relax the toes. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Twist towards the right foot. Your torso's in line with the right foot. Drop your right hand behind, left hand in front, perhaps on the right thigh. Inhale, stretch tall, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And exhale, bring it out towards the right, using your core to protect your back and to keep you strong and stable here. Your pelvis is tilted forward. Make sure you're not rolling and sinking in, using your whole core to support you. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, twist a little more towards the right. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Twist back to center with intention. Drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach tall. Get yourself organized once again before you twist. Notice your knees, your ankles, your toes. Twist to the left. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, once again, lengthen tall. Exhale, wring it out. Notice pockets of tightness here. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Twists are spine lengtheners. Be sure to lengthen up, align, stack, and twist. We'll reach both arms up towards the sky. Come back to center. Open your arms out towards the side walls and bring them behind you. Tense your fingers, lift your hips up, and shift yourself forward, shimmy forward a tiny bit. Shoulders down and back, legs engaged, toes in line with your knees. Huge inhale here. And an exhale, let it go.
Bring your hands to your thighs and draw your legs together. And just bang your knees out, release everything here. And we will reach both arms towards the side walls once again. Palms reach towards the side walls. Pinch your scapula once again. Your legs are long in front. Belly is engaged here. Everything is working even though we're seated. Pinch the scapula together. Exhale, release. Once again, pinch, pinch, pinch. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms in front, coming into eagle arms on the opposite side. So left elbow in underneath the right. Bring your palms together. Belly engaged here. Inhale, lift your elbows to shoulder height. Exhale, release an inch. Inhale, lift up 2 inches. Exhale, elbows to shoulder height. Don't overdo it here, so do what works for you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to shoulder height. Inhale and allow yourself to round forward. Elbows come into the belly and the chest. There's a little tightness there, but roll the back of your back open slightly. Head and neck release. Notice what happens here and how it feels. Sending the breath and kindness to every pocket of tightness that's still releasing. And notice your neck. Anything there that you need to release. Rise back up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide. Pinch your scapula together one more time and release. Lower your hands and just noodle everything loose. Notice if anything's pinchy. And we will raise our arms parallel to our legs. Engage the sit bones with the earth once again. Engage your belly. And roll down with kindness, unrolling the vertebrae like pearls on a string all the way down. Do this with intention and with control. Rather than just flopping, take the time to move through and take good care of yourself along the way. When you arrive, take a moment to arrive, to transition well. Notice if your knees want to bend or stay straight today. Either's okay to start. Just give yourself a moment to arrive. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Wrap your hands on your shins. Rock side to side. Massage your sacrum. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your feet. Come into happy baby. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Knees reach towards the floor. And rock, rock, rock. Play with it, massaging any pockets of tension here. And if it doesn't look like you think it should, that's okay. Perhaps straight one knee and bend it, straight the other knee and bend it. See if you want to straight both knees in happy baby, if you can reach. And if it doesn't work for you, fine. See what happens. Bend both knees again. Bring the soles of your feet together here. Press your heels into your groin. You may need to move your chest out of the way with kindness here. Enjoy the release. Huge inhale and exhale, let it go. Release your hands and lower your feet towards the floor. Soles of the feet will stay together here. Come directly into Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining butterfly. Bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly and pause here for a moment. Notice how you feel. Notice what has changed within your body and how you feel when nothing outside you has actually changed. Notice the power of the breath, the power of movement, and the power of shifting your thoughts. How might you be able to do this in ever so small ways during the day, during your week, or in those moments when you find the anger, frustration, sadness, resistance, whatever it is. Can use any one of the things that we tried to move something, shift something. without fixing it. Just giving yourself some space. Using it as a nutrient for something else to grow. Bring your hands to your thighs, bring your knees together, and bring your feet to the outer edge of the mat. So your knees will be knocked together, feet are in line with the outer edges of the mat. Bring your arms above you in an easy cactus shape. Take good care of your shoulders as you do this. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Left knee reaches towards the front right corner of the mat. The left psoas will pop open. Take an inhale. If you wish, gaze to the left to add to the stretch and the twist. Bring your gaze back to center. Bring your knees back to center. Take an inhale, reorganize everything if need be. Knees are knocked together, soles of the feet are on the outer edge of the mat. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Notice the right hip. If you wish, gaze to the right. Bring your gaze back to center and your knees back to center. Bring your hands down alongside you. And take a moment, align, your feet will be hips width. Bring your heels towards your butt. Press into your hands and lift up into a bridge pose to undo the back of the body. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. You can clasp your hands under your hips and reach your hips high, high, high. Or you can grab the outer edges of your mat, tug them towards your heels. Lift up high, high, high. Undoing everything. Heart is light in the chest here. Giving it a moment of freedom. Untuck your shoulders, lower your hips towards the earth, and arrive. Untuck your shoulders, again, if they need it. Draw your knees into your chest and have a little rock once again. We'll release our knees, lower our feet towards the floor. Stretch your legs long one at a time, coming into Shavasana. Let your toes fall towards the outer edge of the mat. Hands will rest about 6 inches from your hips. Try palms open. See how that feels. If it feels too exposed, you can flip them over. But inviting what is. And allow yourself to just sink in. Perhaps even sinking into the mud in a light way. Perhaps it's a mud bath. Enjoying the mud. Knowing that you can get out and move and breathe whenever. And just allowing yourself a bit of a pause here. To rest and be. Nothing to do, nothing to fix. A few moments of peace, wellness, kindness, and being. Since you're at home, you can stay in Shavasana longer if you wish. For those of you who are ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes.
If it would feel good, reach your arms long above you and your toes long in front, taking in a huge, long, cleansing, nourishing breath. Exhale, let it go. Draw your knees into your chest and roll over to whatever side feels good today. And pause for a moment. Thanking yourself for making the choice to come today, to spend time moving, breathing, feeling, and letting things be. Enjoying and honoring the mud and the lotuses that ultimately shine through. Press your hands into the earth and slowly come up to a comfortable seat where we began. You can grab a block or a bolster or a blanket or just sit. And allow yourself to sink back into that Shavasana feeling as you sit. Sit bones deeply connected to the earth, supporting you. Spine is stacked and aligned and easy to hold. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Once again, sending yourself a thank you, appreciation, and good wishes for the journey ahead. That journey, perhaps including all of the emotions, letting them be, and noticing how they might be useful or helpful. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a beautiful week ahead.